You told him our secret! Something catastrophic could happen!
Like what?
Oh, yeah.
Will Finn Mertens, Ooh's favorite hero, become the villain of Fionna Cake Season 2?
Forget about it.
There's already a ton of speculation about this,
Does it look cool?
and by the time this video comes out, the first episode of Season 2 will probably have dropped.
Ooh.
But I've got my 2 cents to throw in anyway.
Like what?
Finn, the boy who saved kingdoms, faced gods, and fought the literal embodiment of evil, now the one who needs saving?
What? Oh, Glob!
That's exactly what the synopsis teases. Fionna, Cake, and Huntress Wizard setting out on a quest to save Ooh's favorite hero. Honestly, I'm not surprised. If you think about it, Finn, despite being a hero, was always in need of saving. Jake was always there to save him, and now he's not. But save him from what? Because this time, the danger might not be cosmic. It might not even be a villain. It might be Finn himself.
Whoa.
Older, restless, still looking for something to fight when there's nothing left to conquer. And now, thanks to a secret Huntress Wizard wasn't supposed to reveal, the forest is turning against them. A hidden truth, a broken balance, and a hero whose instinct to fix things might be the very thing that breaks him. So maybe the real question isn't will Finn be the villain, but what happens when a hero becomes too blinded by his love for adventure to shove down their own grief to save himself. When Adventure Time ended, it felt like Finn had finally made peace with himself. He'd grown from a reckless kid into someone thoughtful, empathetic, and even wise. But peace doesn't always mean happiness. And for someone like Finn, it might have been the hardest thing to live with.
This isn't happening!
Because after the finale, there was no more evil to fight, no kingdom to save, no grand prophecy to fulfill. The world was fine, and that's exactly what makes it complicated. Heroes like Finn are built for crisis. Without one, they start to crumble a little. Even together again, which we know happens later, hints at this. When Jake's soul reaches the 50th floor, the highest level of enlightenment, Finn is nowhere near it. He's still far below on the 37th floor, still climbing. It's a small detail, but it says a lot. Even in death, Finn's spirit couldn't rest. That's the thing about him. He's not evil. He's addicted to purpose. He can't stand still. When there's no dragon to slay, he'll find one. Or worse, create one. So when Fionna Cake Season 2 hints that Finn needs saving, it's not from corruption or possession. It's from the one thing he's never learned to fight. Himself. In Fionna Cake, we're not meeting the same Finn who used to charge into danger with a grin. This Finn feels older, someone who's seen too much peace and doesn't quite know what to do with it. He's still a legend, but you can tell he doesn't quite buy into it anymore. The Season 2 synopsis tells us that Fionna, Cake, and Huntress Wizard are setting out to save Ooh's favorite hero.
So that's what cowboy tastes like.
And that's what really caught my attention. Finn isn't the one doing the saving anymore. He's the one who needs it. The hero has become the quest. From the trailer, we know the forest has turned against Huntress Wizard. The Council of the Forest accuses her of betraying nature itself, apparently because she revealed a secret to Finn.
Huntress Wizard calls it the heart of the forest. She said no one should ever, ever, ever come here. Well, let's set up camp.
If part of that secret was the location of the heart of the forest, the most sacred and dangerous place in Ooh's wilderness, then everything that follows starts to make sense. And at the center of it all is Huntress Wizard, someone who once understood him better than anyone, and who might be paying the price for trusting him.
Hello.
Suck these nuts!
Finn's fight with the werebear isn't just another monster battle. It's the same story he's been reliving his whole life. The names change, the setting shifts, but the pattern stays the same. Something looks dangerous, someone's in trouble, and Finn runs in headfirst, convinced that action equals good. Except this time, the forest didn't need a hero. It was fine. Finn's fight with the werebear wasn't an accident. It wasn't even about saving Simon. It was about saving himself from stillness, from boredom, from the ache of no longer being needed. He knew about the heart of the forest. Huntress Wizard had trusted him with that secret, maybe hoping he'd understand its importance. But instead, Finn saw it the way he's always seen danger, as an invitation. Another mystery to solve. Another adventure to chase. So when he used Simon as bait to draw out the Guardian, it wasn't pure heroism, it was compulsion. The same old instinct, if there's no one to save, make a reason to save them. Because if Finn isn't helping, he isn't living. We know he has a tendency to manipulate situations for his own entertainment, and by manipulating the forest to become a place of danger where someone needed to be saved, Finn may have broken an important piece of the forest that kept the tree safe, and perhaps it might be the very thing that keeps the forest alive. That's what the werebear might have been. Not a monster, but a guardian, a living embodiment of the forest's will. The scratch he got from the fight could be the forest's way of marking him, pulling him into its balance the way it does with anything that disturbs it. If that's what happened, then Finn's fall isn't about turning evil, it's about consequence. A hero who can't stop fighting ends up being the problem for the very world he once protected. And maybe that's why the forest now sees him as the threat that needs to be tamed. In mythology, forests are often places of trial, not conquest. They test a person's spirit more than their strength. Heroes who rush in with swords drawn are given illusions, guardians, or riddles meant to humble them, not destroy them. But if they mistake the lesson for an enemy, the forest teaches through consequence. This might be the overarching theme of the season with all of our favorite characters. Even Fiona's arc seems to hint at her finding her worth mirroring Finn's path as a hero.
But deep down, you know you're a true loser.
Even in Season 1, Fiona's experience also mirrored Simon's experience of depression quite literally. So it's highly probable they're continuing this parallelism this season too.
Hey boys, y'all have fun out there? Wait, what happened?
If this were any other story, this would be the moment the hero falls.
You just killed someone.
The point where guilt hardens into bitterness, where a savior becomes the threat. But Adventure Time has never been a show about simple villains. Finn's flaw has always come from the same place as his goodness. He acts. He leaps before he thinks because, deep down, he believes he's the only one who can make things right. It's selfish and selfless at the same time. Born from compassion, but poisoned by control. That's why what happens in the forest isn't a turn toward evil. It's the mirror finally catching up to him. For once, his need to fix something didn't save anyone. It broke trust, endangered friends, and scarred the world he swore to protect. But unlike a true villain, I believe Finn can see it. I do believe he'll get over it.
Thank you for your sacrifice, O majestic one.
Villains justify, heroes reflect. And if ever that scratch on his back isn't curable, it's probably the forest's way, not to curse him, but it's to remind him. Finn's story has always been about learning what heroism actually costs. This time, the cost wasn't physical. It was moral. So when Fionna, Cake, and Huntress Wizard set out to save Oo's favorite hero, they're not rescuing a fallen knight or battling corruption. They're helping Finn confront the part of himself he spent years outrunning, the boy who thought saving everyone else would save him too. Because that's the truth of it. Finn won't be the villain of Fionna and Cake Season 2. He'll be the lesson. At its core, Fionna and Cake Season 2 isn't a story about stopping a monster. It's about saving a man who doesn't know what to do when there's nothing left to save. My personal speculation is perhaps Finn's biggest motive may be to bring Jake back from the dead. The heart of the forest tree might have some connection to the underworld. For example, in Life's Lair you see resemblance between this image here and the tree when Simon first encounters it.
Now them some sticks.
There's also a little sapling to note. And it could just be me. But did you see the eyes in the forest and the big one over here? Might be a stretch. Although if it is about reviving Jake, then there's a likelihood of us coming to that place once again. Finn isn't evil. He's exhausted. He's out of quests, out of wars, and trying to live in a world that no longer needs the kind of hero he knows how to be. The tragedy is that his reflexes never changed. Only the world around him did. That's why the forest storyline hits so hard. The heart of the forest isn't just a magical location, it's a symbol of balance. The Council, Huntress Wizard, and the Werebear all embody the same truth. When you disturb harmony to prove your own worth, the world pushes back. But this idea of worth isn't just Finn's burden. It's echoed through everyone in the story. Fiona's scene in the trailer opens with her bragging about saving their world, but still faces criticism of her being a hero and deep down has self-doubts on her worth, just like Finn.
Deep down, you know you're a true loser.
Huntress Wizard has built her whole identity around control and strength, terrified of losing herself if she ever lets her guard down or chooses softness. But now that she has softened, it's created a conflict with her home. And even Princess Bubblegum, who's always been defined by power, creation, and control, seems to be facing a reckoning of her own, wondering who she is when she's no longer as hands-on with her kingdom and tries to do it again. They're all wrestling with the same question in different ways. Who am I when I'm no longer the thing I was built to be? That's what ties all these stories together. It's not about villains or curses. It's about identity, purpose, and the fear of irrelevance. Fionna, Cake, and Huntress Wizard aren't really trying to save Finn from a curse or transformation. They're trying to save him from the same confusion they're all trapped in, the belief that your worth depends on how useful you are. And maybe that's the real message of Season 2. It isn't about falling or redemption. It's about learning that growth doesn't always look like progress. It looks like stopping, listening, and letting the world move without you for a while and accepting the changes. Because sometimes the bravest thing a hero can do is nothing at all and sit with yourself. Finn's story has always been about growing up, but growing up doesn't end when you find peace. Sometimes it starts there. Because when the noise fades, when the quests end, and when no one needs saving, what's left? For people like Finn, people who build their identity around purpose, that silence can feel like failure. It's easy to look at Finn's mistake in the forest and think it's about heroism gone wrong, but really it's about something most of us feel, that quiet fear of not mattering anymore, of not knowing who we are when we're not fixing something, chasing something, or proving we still can. And that's why this story resonates beyond ooh. Fiona's searching for her place in a world that's rewritten itself. Huntress Wizard is caught between control and vulnerability. Even Princess Bubblegum, the person who built kingdoms, is learning that letting go doesn't mean losing everything. It means making space for something new.
That's fairy tale woohoo!
They're all learning the same truth Finn is, that your worth doesn't vanish when your story changes. You don't stop being who you are when the adventure ends. You just start a new one, smaller maybe, but no less real. And maybe that's the beauty of Fionna and Cake. It reminds us that even in a world of magic, monsters, and gods, the hardest quest is still the same. Learning how to face yourself in every part of your journey. I hope you truly realize you're just as valuable just the way you are, whether you're being useful to someone else or just chilling and enjoying slow moments in your life. Then, again, I could be totally wrong about what the season will be about, and Oo's favorite hero mentioned could be someone totally different. Could be Billy.
Nope.
Even if it was a different hero, I think the overarching theme I shared will stand. Fionna and Cake's seasons so far have been about resolving issues our favorite characters had. Thanks again for taking the time to hear me out. There's my 2 cents. See you in the next one, adventurers.